Please join me in the responsive reading found in your order of service. From arrogance, pompousness, and from thinking ourselves more important than we are, may some saving sense of humor liberate us, for allowing us to ridicule the faith of others.
May we be forgiven.
For making war and calling it peace, special privilege and calling it justice, indifference and calling it tolerance, pollution and calling it progress.
May we be cured.
For telling ourselves and others that evil is inevitable and good is impossible.
May we stand corrected.
God of our mixed up, tragic, aspiring, doubting, and insurgent lives,
Help us to be as good in our hearts as we have always wanted to be. Amen.
Lighting the chalice to start our service. We will join together in responsive reading. Let this flame be to us a symbol of the wholeness we seek.
Its brightness dispelling gloom, lighting a path to faith and hope.
Its glow reminding us of the sacred bonds which link us to all people.
Its radiance calling us to seek justice, equity, and compassion for all the world. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth. Thus do we covenant together.
Good morning. Our reading for today is a ripoff of Dr. Seuss. It's called Dr. Seuss Meets Eckhart Tolle, and it's by a man named Scott Grace. Your ego will travel with you on this earth and be your companion for worser or worse. It pretends it's your friend, your bestest amigo, and it pours on the guilt. That's the mark of the ego. It's there to protect you, to help you be strong, so it has to remind you you've done it all wrong. You're weak and you're lazy. You don't have a clue. That's your drill sergeant ego trying to motivate you. The ego wants you to be all you can be, so it gives you these pep talks all day and for free. Oh, the places you'll go and the guilt trips you'll travel, as your ego plays judge and bangs down on its gavel. But you always can get some relief from your shame by projecting it onto the others you'll blame. For that is the ego at its beastiest best. It nurses its grievances close to its chest. Your to-do list must buzz like the bees when they're busying, filling your days till they're endlessly dizzying. Because the ego believes there is something it lacks, and until it is found, it won't let you relax. Perhaps you'll find it in the next one you date, true love at first sight with a soul kind of mate. It's great till the love gets obscured by control, for when two halves collide, they cannot make a whole. So the ego moves on, ever constantly striving, addicted to seeking, afraid of arriving. You're traveling fast at the speed of surviving, with fear in the driver's seat, doing the driving. Your shrink says to rest, your spouse sure agrees. The doctor says, ulcers, take 14 of these. You know you should slow it down sooner or later, but your foot is just glued to that accelerator. Your ego consoles, well, at least you're successful. It's a sign of success to be constantly stressful. You've made it to prime time and everyone loves you, but your self-esteem's based on what others think of you. One day when you failed and succeeded enough, you witness your ego exposed in the buff, and you realize behind all its protective clothing that the ego is simply a state of self-loathing. So for richer or poorer, in all kinds of health, you make a commitment to loving yourself. You release the projections you've placed upon others and find through forgiveness that peace is discovered. You realize that love that you search for outside you is what you are made of and can't be denied you. Your old superstitions have gone up in smoke, like you can't rest in peace until after you croak. You no longer fear death, or for that matter, life, because you know that all matters are safe and all right. There's no need to hurry. You're taking it slow, because where you are going, you don't need to know. The journey is as rich as the places you'll go. The journey is as rich as the places you'll go. Good morning. When I picked today's topic, I didn't know it would be right at the end of one of the worst heat waves we'd ever have. And I would ask people to be snuggling up with their blankets. One thing I found, the blanket that I bring today, I got in the souk in Jerusalem, and it's wool. And I did find out that in desert climates, you can snuggle in wool at the high heat of day, and it cools you. And at night, it warms you. And coming from such a hot, humid place, I had no idea you could cover yourself in fabric at the heat of the day and be cooler. But over there, that's how it works. My talk today is based on sacred texts by Charles Schultz and Dr. Seuss. Okay, I pretended Dr. Seuss, but I'm pretty sure this guy was channeling Dr. Seuss when he wrote today's reading. Two excellent sages. I have to say that one of the things I love about Unitarians is that you accept guiding texts because they speak the truth, not because they are from some officially approved document. You recognize and honor wisdom when you encounter it, period. It need not come wearing an official, church-sanctioned cloak to be treated with respect. I find this wonderfully refreshing. And so today our lesson is from the Gospel of Peanuts. Let's take a look at Linus Van Pelt and his blanket and decide what sort of role his blanket plays in his life. Linus from the comic strip Peanuts is Charlie Brown's best friend and the bossy Lucy's baby brother. I think just having Lucy as an older sister explains the need for a security blanket. Linus sucks his thumb with his trusty blanket thrown over his shoulder. Wise beyond his years, Linus often manages to avoid Lucy's bullying by outsmarting her or confusing her. He comforts and reassures Charlie Brown by listening to Charlie's endless tales of failure and discouragement. Deeply philosophical, Linus almost serves a pastoral role in the beloved comic strip. With his unswerving faith in the great pumpkin, he's not unlike many spiritual leaders today, respected and loved, even if his beliefs sometimes seem a little goofy. Despite ongoing campaigns from Snoopy, Lucy, and Linus's grandmother to wrest the blanket from his grip forever, Linus successfully recovers his beloved blanket again and again throughout the strip, only leaving it gradually behind when he is truly ready and by his own choice. In the meantime, Linus's blanket takes on a character of its own, dancing with him when they are reunited after each separation, and even carrying out sneak attacks on Lucy when she repeatedly tries to throw it in the trash burner. Linus was unapologetic and unashamed of his blanket dependency. In one series of strips, his friend Roy warns him that he mustn't take his blanket to summer camp, for he will be teased mercilessly. Linus takes his blanket off his shoulder and with a deft flick of the wrist, snaps at a large branch, bringing it crashing to the ground. In the next frame, Linus remarks, "They never tease me more than once." How can you not love the guy? Bright, soft-spoken, yet good-hearted, Linus resonates with a part of each of us. He is a softer, wiser side, a kind side, a brave and honest side, yet a side that is easily rendered vulnerable. He is intelligent, but profoundly disoriented if his primary comfort and defense is too far away. My two girls each had a special blanket growing up. Jordan had a pacifier and a wooden ukulele. What can I say? That's Jordan. But my girls may still have their ragged scraps of blanket somewhere. Jenny's was crocheted with green and yellow granny squares. Eden's was light blue and knitted by her grandmother. Soft and woven with love, each blanket came on every vacation and were the first line of defense against pain and sadness. Those blankets offer a tender metaphor for how we adults care for the child inside each of us. Within each of us is the child we once were, with all his or her fond memories, fears, and insecurities. Sometimes the smallest cue can take us back to an early age, and our coping mechanisms regress right alongside of us. And if you are like me, my ego is always right there, ready to berate me and call me names, just like in today's Dr. Seussian reading. I am too stupid or clumsy, I am too loud or too quiet, I am a fraud and someone is about to out me. The list is endless. And when I fall prey to those sorts of thoughts, you will usually find me moments later doing a face plant in a vat of chocolate ice cream. Over the course of my own therapy and in my training to become a therapist, I have often found myself reflecting on human defense mechanisms, their reasons for existing, as well as the problems they can cause us. I have been paying attention to those things that we do to reassure ourselves, to comfort ourselves, to reduce anxiety, and to restore a sense of well-being. Some of these things are beneficial in the long run, others not so much. Some of us might turn to food to feel better, some might turn to alcohol. Some of us scrub the bathroom, some watch endless movies or whole seasons of television. Some go running or practice yoga, some bury themselves in work. Some of us beat ourselves up inside and resolve to try harder because maybe if we impress a few more people and make a few more dollars, we'll then prove we are worthy of love. Some of us phone a friend or repeatedly check Facebook for likes. Some of us go to a bar or coffee shop for a while. Some go shopping, some watch sports, some sleep and sleep and sleep. And occasionally, one of us might go out to find someone else's life we can try to control and fix, because that feels so much better than trying to tackle our own messy lives. Admit it. What do you do? What things or activities do you turn to for security or comfort? What serves as your blanket? From a therapist's perspective, such defense mechanisms make complete sense. Even the ones that seem destructive serve a purpose. They are attempts to escape pain. I have nothing but compassion for everyone, from the Coke addict to the Coke addict, I know what it's like when pain is so great that nothing can stand between me and Ben & Jerry's fish food or Dove's unconditional chocolate ice cream. We are nothing if not creative and adaptive beings, and we are astonishingly good at finding ways to survive horrific human experiences. I cannot judge. I don't know what a given fill-in-the-blank addict has been through. My heart breaks for any one of us whose coping mechanisms have become themselves a new source of pain. Our job as mature adults is not to judge ourselves, to resorting to less than ideal ways to escape psychic pain. Our job is to do the best we can to gain enough perspective that we can decide which supports to drop from our repertoire and which to keep. Some coping mechanisms like cleaning or running can be beneficial habits for a lifetime, but others only stand between us and a fuller, richer life. And then they are not truly serving us at all. They have become part of the problem. Linus and his blanket illustrate some real truths about the very human ways we find to cope with the painful sides of life. When I imagined today's message, I likened Linus's blanket to ego defense mechanisms, which are both good and bad. But the more I looked at the example Schultz gave us, I see that Linus's blanket represents pretty much only the creatively helpful comforts we draw to ourselves. Unlike the ego in Scott Grace's Seussian ripoff, Linus's blanket doesn't seek to strangle Linus or beat him or smother him or blind him. It doesn't even leave him in a diabetic coma with chocolate smeared on his face. Linus's blanket never stops him from a loving choice. It actually stands by him in making courageous choices. He does eventually leave it behind in the strip, but the separation is very gentle and gradual when he is ready. So what are your comfort mechanisms? Is your blankie truly your best friend? Does it support your growth or hinder it? No matter what role it plays, I invite you to take a moment to thank your blanket for being the friend it has been. Then thank yourself for finding creative ways to survive this crazy, unpredictable life. And only if you choose, when you are ready, may you find strength in leaving the less helpful aspects of your coping behind. Amen.
When I find the wise guy who took my blanket, I'm going to give him such a big... Oh, here it is.
I'll just walk away and leave it.
it. I'll try to outgrow it. But meanwhile, it's my blanket and me.
May the journey be rich and the landing soft. May you ever feel supported. And may you find inside the love that passes all understanding. Go in peace.